Hi friends, it's Mrs. B. It's a very exciting day. Today we are going to learn to tell time to the half hour. We will be using two different types of clocks, an analog clock and a digital clock. First, let's look at an analog clock. An analog clock has two hands. One hand is called the hour hand. The hour hand travels around the clock and points to the large numbers. Now it's pointing at the 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, 11 hours, and 12 hours. We call the direction that the arrow or the hand moves clockwise. An analog clock also has a minute hand. The minute hand also moves in a clockwise direction. But when the minute hand moves, we count by fives. We start at 0 and we go to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, 55 minutes, and then we get back to 60, which we start over and we just say 0. Now, this can be a little bit tricky because the blue numbers aren't on the clock. And actually, today, we're only going to be focusing on the 30 minutes. Let's take a closer look. On an analog clock, here we have both of our hands, and I also have two of our minutes labeled for us. I have our 0 minutes at the top and our 30 minutes at the bottom. To tell the time on this analog clock, first we need to find the hour hand. That's the short hand. Next, we need to find the minute hand. That's the long hand. Now we need to tell the hour. This can be a little bit tricky on an analog clock. When I look at the hour hand, it's not pointing at the 8 or the 9. So I need to determine which numbers or hours the hour hand has already passed. Since I know the hour hand starts up here and travels in a clockwise direction, I can tell the hour hand has passed the 8, but has not yet reached the 9. So I know my hour is 8. Now I need to tell my minutes. I could count by fives, but that would take me a while. Or I could just remember that every time my minute hand is pointing straight down, that means 30 minutes. My minutes are 30. I can tell the time on this clock as 8:30. Sometimes we say half past 8 because the minute hand has traveled halfway around the clock. Let's try some of these together. Next, we have a digital clock. I find that a digital clock is a little bit simpler to read. First, we need to find the hour. The hour is the number before the colon. Next, we need to find the minutes. The minutes are the number after the colon. Next, we tell the hour and we tell the minutes. Our hour is 8 and our minutes are 30. So we can tell our time as 8:30, or we could say half past 8. Here is our first problem. We have an analog clock. First thing we need to do, find the hour hand. Find the minute hand. Now we need to tell the hour. We know that our arrow travels clockwise. I can see that my arrow has passed my 4, but has not yet got to my 5. So I know my hour is 4. I also know that when my minute hand is pointing straight down, that means 30. I can read the time on this clock as 4:30. Great job. Let's keep going. Here we have another analog clock. First, find your hour. Find your minutes. Tell your hour. Tell your minutes. Let's see how you did. I can tell that my hour hand has passed my 12. It has not reached my 1 yet. So I know that my hour is 12. I also know that when my minute hand is pointing straight down, that means 30. So I can tell this time as 12:30. Next, we have a digital clock. Find the hour. Find the minutes. Tell the hour. Tell the minutes. My hour is 9. My minutes are 30. So I can tell this time as 9:30. Or we could say half past 9. Great job. Try this one on your own. Let's see how you did. I can tell my hour hand has passed the 7. It has not quite yet reached the 8. So I know my hour is 7. I know my minute hand is pointing straight down, which means 30. I can tell my time as 7:30. Great job. Let's keep going. Tell the time on this digital clock on your own. If you said the time is 10:30, great job. You are correct. Do you remember the other way we can say this time? If you said 10:30, you were correct. Great job. Let's try one more. Tell the time on this analog clock. I can tell the time on this clock as 1:30. Awesome job. I'll see you back next time.